What's going on, all my toy collectors and Batman fans out there? You know who it is. It's your boy Ox, and welcome to the Cave of Wonders. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new 2024 DC Direct Batman the Animated Series Batmobile by Mcfarlane Toys. Now this right here is a re-release of the original DC Direct Batmobile that came out about 7 or 8 years ago. But this one right here is going to come in a new box, more dedicated to the original 92 Kenner Batman the Animated Series Batmobile back then. And it's going to have a different paint scheme than the one that DC Direct did about 7 or 8 years ago. Now this vehicle right here I found at Target for roughly around about $80. I'll leave a link in the description below. That way you guys are able to find it in case you guys decide to go ahead and pull the trigger and purchase it, okay? Now this vehicle right here is meant to fit your 6-inch DC Direct Batman the Animated Series figures. So let's go ahead and unbox this really cool toy and check it out. Okay, now starting off with the front of the box, this thing is a really huge package, so make sure you guys keep that in mind when buying it, because the box itself is enormous, but I'm sure when I pull this Batmobile out, it's going to be just as long as this box right here, okay? Now taking a look at the front, you guys can see a cartoon image right there of the Batmobile. You can see it says Batman the Animated Series on the lower right, let you know that this is the Batmobile. You can see the logo from that old animated series from the 90s. On the lower left, it lets you know that this vehicle does light up. And on the upper left, you guys can see that it does say Mcfarlane Gold Label Collection, letting you know that this is part of that Gold Label Collection that he releases, okay? And like I said, I did find this at Target, and it was roughly around about $80. Now, I've already measured it out for you guys. It measured out to 28.5 inches long by 8 inches tall by 10 inches in depth. So make sure you guys keep that in mind, okay? Because this thing is going to take up a lot of space, okay? Now, before we go around and look at all the other boxes, I just wanted to make sure I showed off the 92 Kenner Batman the Animated Series vehicle. And as you guys can see, this thing does pay a lot of homage to this old Kenner vehicle right here, even the way it's kind of cruising in on that side right there. Now, if you guys have the original one, you'll know that it was kind of like a really dark navy blue, like a kind of like a charcoal blue, I guess you guys could say. And I'll do a review of that toy, you know what I'm saying, once I pull this thing out the box and do a review on it. And obviously this thing has extra features that weren't inside the animated series and stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you guys what once was and what is now, and how much Mcfarlane showed a lot of love to the box art on this vehicle right here, you know, to how Kenner used to do it back in the day, okay? And right here's the side, just says DC Direct by Mcfarlane Toys. Now, like I said in the opening, that this vehicle originally was made by DC Direct before Mcfarlane had the license in 2020. It's just now he's re-releasing them. A lot of the figures he's re-releasing for people who didn't get them and making them available in stores rather than having to order them online or find them at your comic book shops. And a lot of the figures all have cel shading. This vehicle is going to have the same features as the original DC Direct one, but I think it's going to have a different paint scheme. But I don't have the original one because I didn't collect those ones, just because I had my old Kenner toys and I didn't want to rebuy all those figures and stuff like that, all right? And this right here is the back of the box. Like I said right there, let you know that this vehicle does light up. So the front headlights light up, the back tail lights end up lighting up, and the inside dash ends up lighting up as well, okay? And it does let you know right here in this bigger picture that it does fit most of your 6-inch DC Direct animated series figures, all right? And this right here is the top of the box. It just shows you that that canopy does slide open. That way you guys can easily slide in the figures. And right there's the actual image of the Batmobile that's inside of here. That's what it's going to look like, okay? And on the bottom of the box, you have all your caution labels and everything like that. And then it lets you know that this thing does require 3 AA batteries that do not come included with this vehicle, all right? And that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and crack this baby out of the box. And here's the Batmobile all out of the box. This thing is massive. Like I said, it's not quite as big as the box like I thought. The box measured out to 28.5 inches long. This right here measured out to 26 inches long. Now, it did come with a little collector's card, just like the Joker Mobile did that Mcfarlane released earlier this year. And I noticed when you look on the back, it said, racing out of the Emmy Award-winning Batman the Animated Series and into your home comes the 24-inch long Batmobile replica. This Batmobile is not 24 inches. I measured it from the front all the way to the back of the fins, and it measured out to 26 inches long, by 8.5 inches wide at the widest part right here in the front, by 5 inches tall at the top of the canopy, okay? So I'm not sure why that thing says 24 inches long, but it's not. It's 26. So make sure you guys keep that in mind when you guys are going to be displaying this, okay? Because this is a really long piece. Not very tall, only at 5 inches at the canopy, but it is, you know, 26 inches long, so it's going to take up a lot of space, okay? Now, because I don't have the original DC Direct that came out 7 or 8 years ago, Batmobile, and I looked at other reviews back then and people who are doing reviews now, because I'm a YouTuber. I love watching toys. I love watching other YouTubers review the toys that I'm into. So this one right here, from what I understand, the original one was all black. It either had gray hubcaps and a gray grill, or it had a chrome, depending on which one you bought, which exclusive one you were able to buy. But this one I noticed is black all on the sides and in the front, all down here, and at the top right here around this trimming piece, it's all blue all the way at the top, just like the original Kenner Batman the Animated Series. So maybe that's that cell shading that McFarlane's been doing for most of these DC Direct figures when he's been re-releasing them. But if you take a look at the old Kenner animated series, it's that same color blue that this vehicle was right here. All right. Now, these don't pop out right here like the old Kenner ones did right here, where it popped off. You could drive by villains and chop their legs up or whatever, or trip them. But this one right here does have some pretty cool action features, which we'll go over in 1 second. All right. Let's just take a look at how massive this thing is. And these right here are those lights. On the original Kenner one, these were just stickers. So this one right here is going to have lights. This doesn't open up to reveal the motor or anything like that. Not like the Jada Toys one does, if I remember. Now you guys will see a line right up here on top. And that line is how you open the canopy. And the canopy does slide open just like it's supposed to from the original cartoon. It slides open like that. And then you guys will be able to fit figures in there. And yes, this thing does fit 2 action figures. All right, let's take a look at the back real quick. Right there, these things are all clear because those actually light up, and I'll show you guys that in a second when I turn on the lights. All right, now I've already removed this little piece right here for you guys. You just unscrew it right there, and it holds 3 AA batteries. And then right here is a switch to actually turn it on. Okay, guys, so you just turn that on, and you guys can see the lights. Has 2 headlights right here. Sorry, this thing is huge. On the back, you guys can see those brake lights right there. And then you guys can see that flame exhaust right there. Sorry, it's kind of blurring up the camera. But that's a pretty cool feature because the original Kenner one did not have those features. Now, the original DC Direct one that they came out with, like I said, the original version of this did have lights as well, okay? Now, if you guys open up the canopy, you guys can see on the inside that both the driver's side and passenger side all have lights, even in the middle dash. That's why all that stuff is clear right there. And I'll show you what it looks like in 1 second without the lights on, all right? Now, I did notice something. It seems blue right up here at the top. I'm not sure exactly, maybe if it wasn't painted dark on the inside, but the light is shining through that blue, but only when the light is on. I'm not going to be leaving this light on, but it's actually kind of cool because when you put the Batman in there, you might be able to kind of see him in the night, like if you turn off all the lights, all right? But other than that, just the front, the back, and the inside light up. But like I said, this being kind of blue up here, it's not nothing that really upsets me. I don't think the original one shined blue through this paint job right here. Who knows, maybe it's the kind of paint he used or something, but it doesn't bother me, but it might bother you, so make sure you guys keep that in mind, okay? I'm gonna turn off the lights real quick on here, and I will show you what this looks like with the lights off inside my studio, but I just want to show you guys the inside of this vehicle real quick. Right there, this is what it looks like. There's no kind of stickers or nothing. It's all meant to be clear and not show anything because that's where the lights shine through. It does have a steering wheel, but the steering wheel does not work the actual wheels in the front. And the steering wheel actually does push in case you guys need to fit the figure inside, and then it does pull back out, and it does rotate side to side. It just doesn't control the actual wheels, all right? Now you guys can see that there is actually 2 seats. You guys will fit Batman and Robin in there, or Batman and Catwoman. It does have seat belts, which I think is really awesome. And the seat belts are elastic, so they do stretch right around the figure. You don't have to try and get them to try and fit the figure like the old Kenner Batmobiles, where it would just be a little plastic strip and you got to try and like knot it in there around the figure. But I think it's really cool that they added seat belts because a lot of my old Batmobiles, especially the ones made by Kenner, almost all of them had seat belts. Even the bat wings and bat boats and stuff, a lot of them all had seat belts. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the inside of it. I'm going to go ahead, turn the lights on, and actually I'll try the figures first, and then I'll turn the lights off and show you guys what it looks like with the lights on and with the figures inside of it. But let's go ahead and fit in some of them DC Direct figures, all right? Now I'm going to go ahead and try these two figures right here. We got the Batman from the 4-pack DC Direct with Joker, Harley Quinn, and Harvey Bullock. And this right here is the Robin from the Build-A-Wave that Mcfarlane released for the Condiment King. Now both of these figures have hard plastic capes. They don't have any fabric capes. So hopefully we'll be able to bend them and get them in there. These capes are not real hard, but so they look like they'll be able to bend in order for me to get him in there. But let's go ahead and check it out and see, okay? Just open it up, which I think is a really cool feature right there, because the one from Kenner, you had to open up like this. So this one actually slides like it's supposed to, all right? Oh, well, he fits in there. Just kind of got to bend this cape just a little bit. So when you're bending their legs up, kind of bend that cape with them just like that, and they'll end up sitting in there, all right? And there we go. So even with the plastic capes, if you guys were worried about the figures having those you know, hard rubbery plastic capes, they still end up fitting in there just fine. Now you guys can try and stretch those seat belts and click them in there. I'm not going to do that for you, but the seat belts actually do, when you click them into the spot, the seat belts actually do stick in there, and they're easily, you just pull them out. You don't have to push a button or nothing, but they do easily just pull out, okay? But yeah, like I said, even with those plastic capes, you have got no issues. They fit in there just fine. Robin actually has a lot more room, so his cape might push him up. But let's go ahead and see if any DC Multiverse figures actually fit inside here, okay? Real quick, because these are 6-inch figures. I think he's a 6 1/4, but these are meant for the 6-inch DC Direct figures. But let's go ahead and try some of McFarlane's 7-inch figures real fast. Try this Ben Affleck Dawn of Justice figure real quick. He does have a cloth cape, so let's see if he fits in there. I'm not thinking so, because the legs are so wide that they're not fitting into the spot as well as the DC Direct ones. Yeah, they're just not fitting in there properly. At least I'm not able to get them in there. So go ahead and just stick with your DC Direct figures that are meant to go in there, because you guys can definitely see the height difference in these two figures right there of how high and how tall they stand, okay? All right, now here's how it lights up with all the lights off inside of my my cave down here. It's not real bright. The lights are bright, but it's not brighting up the actual Batmobile where you guys can see it, okay? It's just showing the front headlights right there. You guys can see how that canopy is blue like I was telling you. And then these lights bright up really bright in the back right there. So all the places where there are lights, it does light up like it's supposed to. It's just don't expect in the night to end up actually being able to see the Batmobile if it's really dark in here. Now when you open up that canopy, those front lights that are right there on the dashboard, you guys will see that they do end up lighting up Batman and Robin right there, okay? So yeah, man, this thing is really awesome, man. Really awesome for the price point compared to what other toy companies are charging right now for some of these bigger vehicles for action figures. A lot of them don't even get released store-wide. You know, they end up being like Kickstarters or something that you have to pay into, and it has to meet like a crowd fund in order to get released. So this is a pretty cool vehicle. Let's go ahead and turn back on the lights real quick. Now I wanted to do a quick comparison of this vehicle next to the Joker Mobile that Mcfarlane released just a few months ago. This right here is also at Target. I'm not sure if it's a Target exclusive, but that's the only place I've been able to see it or being able to find it is at Target. Now, I think it's pretty cool that this vehicle was meant to be released by DC Direct years and years ago, but it never was. So McFarlane ended up taking those plans and ended up releasing it himself. So I think that was a pretty cool homage to the original DC Direct line that he ended up releasing that. Now I also wanted to point out something that I forgot, that these wheels on the bottom of this Batmobile are actually rubber. So you guys can see the tread right there. You guys can see the tread on the bottom of those. So these are actually rubber, and the wheels in the front actually do rotate. Now, they're not controlled by the steering wheel or anything, but they actually do rotate if you guys need them to. They do move side to side, and they all do rotate. So that way you guys can roll this thing if you guys need to, okay? But I just wanted to show you guys just how cool it is sitting next to this Joker Mobile, because the Joker Mobile also has rubber wheels. It does rotate if you guys need it to, and it does roll around, all right? So these are not just display pieces. They might not be something that you might want your kids to play with and bash around, but they're really awesome vehicles, man, and they do scale really well together. Now I'm going to show you a couple other vehicles, including that Kenner Batman the Animated Series Batmobile from back in the day. And here's that DC Direct Batmobile next to the 1992 Kenner Batmobile. Like I said, both of these are based off of the Batman the Animated Series from the 90s. Now, obviously, they do look the same. This one right here is a lot bigger, a lot more detailed. You can see the grill's painted gray and stuff. This one right here, the grill was never painted. Now, obviously, it does have some little spikes that stick out right here for a play feature for kids. I think these Batmobiles went for like $20, maybe $25 or something like that. The canopy doesn't slide open like the new one does right there. It ends up popping open like this or whatever, and then it does have a little jet vehicle that pops out the back, and you guys can fly it around. But there's no kind of missiles on here. There's no lights or anything like that. It doesn't make any kind of sounds. So it's really cool that when he made this one right here, he ended up adding those lights to it and making that canopy slide. And obviously it's a lot bigger for the newer DC Direct figures right there. Now, I know a lot of people are probably kind of upset from what I've seen in comments on other people's videos that it's not all black like the original DC Direct one was. But the fact that it's blue, that's exactly what it was supposed to be. If you ever watched the old cartoons, the Batmobile wasn't just black. A lot of it had a lot of blue on top of it. That's why the original one that came out by Kenner was all blue, that shade of blue that it is right here. But this vehicle by Kenner has been released numerous times. I think it was released not only by Kenner, but when Hasbro bought the license, they released this Batmobile in black as well, in a camo color, in gray, in blue, in like another blue camo color. I think they even released it in like red or something. So here's the same mold, and you guys can see it's black with green windows and stuff like that. So, but they never ended up painting the grill right here. So this vehicle has been a lot of different colors. So I'm not tripping. I'm happy with it being blue. It doesn't bother me, but you guys have to make that decision before you guys go ahead and make that purchase. All right. Let's show this next to some other vehicles that are roughly around about this size. All right. Now, last comparison right here, I have a bunch of other major big Batmobiles that are released by different toy companies. I just wanted to go ahead and do a scale comparison for you guys. Now, keep in mind that this animated series Batmobile is going to be a lot longer because it's meant to be like really long. Even in the cartoon, it looked really long compared to most of the other vehicles, all right? Now, I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like next to the Mcfarlane 89 Gold Label Batmobile. This right here was released, I think, last year. Now, it didn't come with those guns. It didn't come with the gas caps, and it didn't come with that canopy right there. This one right here is a much more sleeker canopy, like the Batmobile is supposed to look. In case you guys are wondering where I got all that stuff from, I got this cage set right here from Raymond Toys. Go to Raymond Toys and get this cage set. It's definitely worth it. It lowers the profile of that canopy right there. Those guns easily attach on, and those gas caps end up sticking on right there, all right? But this is definitely worth the buy. So go ahead and go check out Raymond Toys. I'll leave a link in the description below, okay? In case you guys want to upgrade that Batmobile, and it'll show you guys how to do it. It's extremely easy. If you guys are not into customizing, don't worry, because it's extremely easy, okay? And then right here's that DC Direct Batmobile. Right here is the Mattel Justice League Batmobile, which is extremely large as well. A lot of people say that Mcfarlane is trying to redo all the Batmobiles. I know he just put up for pre-order the Batman Forever Batmobile, and that thing looks awesome as well. But I don't think he's even going to need to redo this one because this thing is amazing. It's big. It even fits some of your multiverse figures in it. So even though it was meant for 6-inch figures, this thing right here actually fits some of your DC Multiverse figures. And this right here is not the Mcfarlane 66 Batmobile. This right here is the Mattel one. I use this one with his figures from the retro line just because this vehicle is a lot longer and a lot bigger compared to the one that he released. And I already had it already, and it's a lot more detailed. So I went ahead and I display his figures with this vehicle from Mattel. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at this DC Direct animated series Batmobile. It's really awesome. Like I said, it is going to take up a lot of space, so make sure you guys keep that in mind, whether you're leaving it in the box or displaying it outside the box. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And until next time, stay cool. And remember what I said. Check out Raymond Toys. Buy this cage set. It's not that expensive, and it will make your Batmobile, that gold label 89 Batmobile, look absolutely amazing. You don't have to do a whole lot of work. There's a video for it right underneath the purchase when you're going to go buy it. It'll show you exactly how to put that thing together, all right? But yeah, other than that, stay cool, guys.